Hello everyone, thought I'd come to you with a really simple card that looks so effective, that was inspired by Tammy Winterkruin, who first came out with this great idea. So I thought I'd give it a go today and had so much fun creating these watercolour cards that just have one image on it and a little sentiment, and just they're really beautiful to look at and very simple. Okay, so first of all I've got this one that's using all the pinks and the reds, and it's just using this beautiful stamp, which is the upcoming August stamp of the month, and this is it here, and I just love it. It's very my style sort of flowers. And then we've also got this one which is using the blue and the greens, and then I just popped a little bit of decoration on there as well to add some more to it. So I'm going to quickly show you how to make this. So I've got my watercolour paints out, and I don't use them very often, so they're in pristine condition really. But you can use any watercolour paints, it doesn't matter. And you start with a piece of white card, and it doesn't even have to be watercolour paper, it can be. But I'm not putting a lot of water on it, so it doesn't really matter. And this measures 3.75 by 5. And then you have to mask off the area you don't want the watercolour to go on. So you can use washi tape and mark it off, or I tend to use post-it notes because it's a bit easier for me. And because I don't like measuring and taking my time, I always cut a template. So I've got a template that I just sit in here and stick the post-it notes around the edges, and then pull that up, and then I've got the right size bit in the middle, like that. Then I'm going to get my water brush, and I've got one with the water well in it. And so I make it really easy. And so for these cards, I just went, you can see my watercolours there, I just started with one colour and just worked my way up and down the side, and that was the way I did it. And then same with the pink one, I just started here and worked up and around. So I might do another blue one to show you now. Let's push them back out of the way a little bit, give me some room. And I've got the wide brush because that's the one that's going to give me the best look for this one. And there's no measurements when I'm doing it, I just do it till it's filled in. So I'm just going to give it a little squeeze just to get some water down. And I've always got a bit of paper towel here to wipe my brush off on. So I'm going to start with this green. I just make it a little bit wet. And then I'm just going to take it right across like this. Go over it a second time and just make it a bit wider if I want to. Like that. And then I'm going to very simply wash my brush off, because it doesn't actually matter if you have a little bit of the colour in there. And then just a little drop of water on the next colour. You don't want too much water because it washes out the colour and it makes the paper a little bit wetter. And then I'm just going to do the same again. It's probably a bit wetter than I wanted, but it doesn't take long to dry. And then we're going to go to the next one. Told you it was easy, no rocket science here. And then the next one, bring the blues in a little bit. See my little brush sticking out there, drawing on it. Doesn't really matter, just adds a little bit of personality to it. Then I'm going to go, I think I must have gone down here next. Because I'm going lighter now, I'm going to just wash the brush a little bit and then finish off with the lightest colour up the top there. There we go. And that's as hard or as simple as it gets. I might just go, this one looks a bit... There we go. Then all you have to do is wait for it to dry. Now I'm going to stamp it now that it's dry. So I'm actually using the archival black for this because it gives that really intense black, and it's going on to a slightly damp paper as well, so it'll just hold its shape really well. I don't use archival black that often because I'm very messy stamper, and so I get it everywhere. But this looks so beautiful with that really intense black. So sticking it down, I forgot to put my thing underneath, but that's all right. I'm just going to pause and hold it for a few seconds to make sure all the ink transfers. And looks like I messed it up. So I will try again. It's giving a little bit of a different look to the flower, but I don't think it matters. This is a brand new stamp. I'm going to change the sentiment now, so I'm just seasoning it on my hand here. Do that so you get a really good stamp. And sometimes I like, especially if it's the first time, I'll just stamp it off first just to make sure it's well seasoned. And then I'm just going to stamp that on here. And there you go. Do the same to this one. I think I'll do exactly the same. And there we go, all finished. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to mount them onto a black card, a back piece of cardstock that will be 4 by 5.25, and then onto it on one of our cards. And on this one, because I'm making it for a special event, I've also stamped and put a piece of white cardstock inside to give it a bit of a different look. Thanks for watching. Hope you have fun.